Good morning. Welcome to the market forecast for Monday, April the 19th. I'm John Hoagland. As always, thanks for trusting me with your time. It's going to be another interesting week this week. Of course, always hoping for accurate context, risk management, good patience, and peace for everybody this morning. As far as economic numbers due this morning, no important numbers due out. It's kind of a thin week as far as economic numbers are due out. Just kind of reviewing what we're looking for in this regard for the week. Nothing really important. We've got Red Book tomorrow, not an impactful number. Wednesday, EIA Petroleum status report is the only thing I see on here that really looks like anything impactful. Thursday is the big week, the big day this week. We've got jobless claims, existing home sales, leading indicators, and nat gas, as well as a number of short-term Treasury bill and note announcements. We've got PMI composite flash on Friday, as well as new home sales on Friday. So not a lot to worry about as far as economic numbers in the first half of this week. Thursday looks like the big one. However, earnings will accelerate this week. We are on the front edge of earnings season, so we'll be keeping an eye on all of those. As far as news is concerned, not a lot of big news this morning. A little bit of a downturn in Bitcoin over the weekend, perhaps giving some people an opportunity to get in if they choose in the crypto craze. Equity futures, U.S. equity futures set to open slightly lower, kind of in a consolidation after record highs last week. We'll be looking at those in the charts here very shortly. The dollar is approaching 1 month lows. Treasury yields continue to slide off of recent highs. And crude prices have been ranging for the last 3 days. Tomorrow is May expiration. If you remember, last year's May expiration was quite a debacle, with price going negative. Whenever they tell you it can't go to zero, don't trust them. As far as earnings are concerned this week, today we've had Coca-Cola out already this morning, beating numbers. We have IBM and United Airlines coming out after the close today. Tomorrow, Johnson & Johnson, Abbott Labs, and Fifth Third Bank due out before the open. Netflix due out after the close tomorrow. Wednesday, Verizon due out before the open, and Thursday, AT&T before the open, and Intel after the close, just to name some of the bigger ones. As far as VIX this morning, VIX is slightly higher at 1664. The dollar index continuing to slide off its highs down at 91.11, and the 10-year yield just about even at 1.6%. As always, I like to say good morning to everybody. My brother Rick, first one in the room. Rick, you win the prize this morning. Brian D. Felix, good to see you. Ednelson, Joseph, Theo, Clarence, Bill, Andre, Murph, good morning, and a great 4-day weekend. Good, Murph. Hopefully you got some good rest and you're ready to rock and roll this week. It looks like you're ready to get back on the horse and get riding again. Shady Trader, good morning. Laura, James, Tactic, hope things are going well for you. Vince, level 2. JD, the Dancing Bear, good morning. John, Nick, Mr. Shine's Mystery Channel, Tim G, good morning. Caesar, the chef is in the room. Mike Magallanes, Lemur, Norman, good morning. Just started a combine. There are certain details I need to learn completely by my trading stuff you only get at Top Step. Excellent, Norman. Well, we're glad that you're here. We're looking forward to your success. Shady Trader, powerful haircut. Oh, yes, I did my spring shearing this weekend. Happy Ram, good morning. Colin, Deg, Sharon, good morning. Everybody, absolutely. Art W, Jason, level 2, good morning. Juan, Kevin Scott, hello. All moved off island, so you're off the island now, Kevin. Rob T, good morning, everyone. All right. As always, on Wednesday, we have our group coaching. I'm going to put the link in the chat right now. You can register for that, email in questions, ask questions on the fly. Always one of my favorite parts of the week. Lennon Fernandez, good to see you. Welcome. If this is your first trip to the market forecast, again, we're always hoping that you're finding something useful here. Now, after about a month of solid charts, I seem to be having a little bit of trouble with the charts this morning. So let me get them back up, and we're going to get through the charts, I promise. I don't know what happened. I thought I had the sequence all taken care of, and apparently I did not. So let's jump in now. As always, we'll start with the daily and crude oil, and I'll be watching to make sure that we keep them up and solid. All right, so here's crude, the daily. Weekly kickoff high 65.50. We've got a little bit of room to move to the upside if we can break out of this little consolidation we're in. 61.50 weekly kickoff low, right in the middle of it. Expiration tomorrow. I just keep thinking back to that last May expiration. We're in a bit of a consolidation zone here. Okay, we're finishing up rollover. We added 3,800 in open interest on Friday on a overlapping to higher range. So volume, of course, spiked on Friday because it's really the first day. It was really the front month, so that's going to be a bit blurry for us. But the overnight, the open interest, although strong, is still kind of non-directional. We've got some space on either side of this range, so I'm going to be focusing on the extremes of this range for any bigger opportunities. Anything inside of that is going to be a smaller opportunity, and I'm going to be managing my profit-taking reasonable. So again, space in either direction. Taking a look at the 30-minute chart here. Let's make this big so we can all see. Look at where we are. We've got Friday's range value, inside value area, no overnight inventory, settlement 63.19. So no real inventory, getting a little bit of a boost to the upside here after the open. But again, when we open in range and in value, usually tells me that I can relax a little bit and wait for better trade locations as the day goes on. And of course, that's moot if the opening range is the low of the session, but I don't believe that it is perhaps yet here so far. So on Monday, trying to stay patient, trying to stay cool, wait for the market to come to me for good opportunities. The E-mini S&Ps now, still got our charts up. That's a good sign. Ballistic to the upside, as they have been. It's getting very difficult to come up with anything that I really trust as far as weekly kickoff highs. It's basically at a big fat round number at 4,200. I considered leaving it where it was, but we did close above it. We settled at 41.76 quarters, so that by all rights marks acceptance above that important inflection level. It may continue to be somewhat impactful this week. That's that 41.50 level. Volume has been maintaining overall. We lost 2,500 in open interest, and it wasn't the kind of long liquidation event that we may have been thinking about or expecting on Friday. We lost 2,500, so maybe a little bit of long liquidation came into here on Friday, maybe a little short covering. Either one, it wasn't very impactful. So far this morning, we're inside extended trading hour range from Friday. Our low from the overnight session is higher than the low from Friday. The high is lower than the high from Friday. So again, really kind of coming off the highs, a recent high, an all-time high, then finding some consolidation overnight, and we're going to see what that does for us here on the 30-minute chart. Settlement up here. Settlement up here is 41.76 quarter. Volume, again, maintaining. Overnight shorts, perhaps, a little bit. We're just kind of holding below settlement. Hang on a second. There goes the charts again. I'm going to get this figured out again for us. I may have messed up the sequence that I do things that keeps them solid, and I do apologize, but should be back up here directly, and there they are. So overnight high, overnight low. Overnight low looks a little bit interesting. It looks like it's going to be somewhat pivotal for us. we keep putting in higher highs and higher lows. If we continue in very short time frame to put in lower highs and lower lows, that may be something that we're going to need to take note of. So without a gap, no real overnight inventory, overnight low somewhat pivotal. Again, I'm going to suggest trying to stay patient and wait for better trade locations as the day goes on. Of course, if the opening range remains the high or the low, we'll be looking at that as a possibility of buyer control right off the open. But again, in range, now out of value. But when we see all these moving averages just kind of intertwined, and I call them braided, it tells me these there's no real important directional activity coming from these moving averages. So again, I'm going to try and stay very patient. I always do that on Mondays because Mondays are historically not my best trading days. So I just take my time and I give myself the opportunity to kind of ease into the week, if you will. The NASDAQ, I could not figure out a decent weekly kickoff high, so I left it where it was at 14,000. We've been talking about the S&Ps and the NASDAQ and some of these equity indices showing signs of momentum falling off at the on upward moves and being unable to kind of really continue this ballistic move. So it's going to take new business, new buyers, more information, more people coming into these markets in order to keep this move going. A pullback would actually be healthy for an upside continuation in this move. We need to possibly even out some of the inventory when we're all into the long side. That's going to be the high. We are all, I think, are sitting here waiting for the for when that pullback is going to come in, and we've been waiting for it for a while, and the market continues just to eat shorts on the way up. Just keeping an eye on what's going on in the longer time frame and kind of using those moving averages, using whatever you're looking at to determine whether this upside auction is still healthy or whether it's aging a little bit and needs a little bit of a pullback is really what we're looking for. Here's the 30-minute chart. Now we're hanging right at our overnight low as we get closer and closer to the open. And this, again, is an area that I think is going to be somewhat pivotal. This overnight low, okay, are we going to open with a gap or are we going to open inside the range? What are we going to do here? Again, the NASDAQ is offering possibly a more higher probability opening range trade if we open out of the range from yesterday. We've got a little space down below with opportunities for this market to move back down to this point of control here from Thursday or Wednesday, I should say it is. Let's just call that 13,900. And a little bit of a consolidation there. If we can't hold this overnight low and we do start to move lower, that's one of the targets I'll be looking for. And then value low from Wednesday as well, 13,829. Again, stay patient. Stay patient. Opportunities will be coming at you all week long. Gold. Volume trending higher over time as we've come off this double bottom low here. We added 32,000 in open interest, so that kind of tells me that this upside auction is still presenting as healthy. Volume is good, adding open interest on up days, but buying is still coming into this market. Still room to run to the upside. Weekly kickoff high, 1807. There goes the charts. Let's bring that back up, and I do, again, apologize for this. I've had them nice and solid for a long time, and now I'm starting to have trouble with them again. But it's all right. I'll get it figured out. So, again, upside momentum, maintaining to higher volume, adding open interest. It's telling us that this auction to the upside is still relatively healthy. Still room to run. 30-minute chart. Looks like we may be getting an an opportunity to look for a pullback if we are still in the frame of mind that we want to buy weakness here. The opening range, I'm not sure if it's the high of the session or not. I was looking at this morning, kind of in range and in value, looking at our overnight low as well as this gap close as a potential opportunity for an execution, and now we are there as we speak. So we got that little gap close that was left from Thursday to Friday, point of control just below that at 1769, and our current weekly kickoff low at 1737 even, 1737 even. Little bit lower than that. 37 even. Oh, here we go. Let's put this in the right spot. 30. It's arguing with me. 37 even. Approximately that point of control right there. So we may see a relatively decent pullback in this, but in looking at the daily chart, I still don't think that it's necessarily going to break structure until we can accept down below that level. So again, looking for opportunities as the day goes on. The euro, okay, we started to see volume slowing. Weekly kickoff high is 120.15. We've broken out above that. We're seeing upside structure remaining. Open interest in it was moot on Friday. We didn't really add much. We added 400, but still a pretty decent move. Volume largely maintaining. Look at the volume today, already higher than the volume from Friday. This is a pretty decent move. We'll be looking for pullbacks with which to get into longs. We are now above that sticky area and those swing highs that we were looking at last week, that we were saying, okay, those are going to be resistant. Well, they were. Now we're above them. If we can get a move back towards them, sometimes resistance becomes support, support becomes resistance. We do have plenty of room to run to the upside. You're going to watch that dollar, see how the dollar is being treated. Here we go. Settlement all the way down here at 1992 half. 1992 and a half ticks. We've got some considerable overnight longs in this market. Market opening in a range of consolidation. You can see the whole moving averages showing the momentum to the upside falling on this crossover. Sellers might be able to take advantage of a move in the opposite direction, but it's a move contrary to the bigger medium time frame picture. So I'm going to be looking, if I'm short, I'm going to be looking to take reasonable profits, not falling in love with this trade, reasonable profits. All right. Seeing if I have any other information here. Yeah, I mean, it was a big gap. Here's Friday's high. Here's where we open. We got gap rules, but that still means we could come all the way back to that weekly kickoff inflection level and still maintain positive momentum. Here's the 10-year. Okay, last week's weekly kickoff high. Oh, there goes the charts again. Let me get those up again for everybody. I do apologize. I'm going to get this figured out again. Thought I had it, but as usual, there's gremlins all over the place, and they got into my computers this morning. So weekly kickoff high in the overnight, also resistant on Thursday, resistant on Friday. Volume and open interest slowed on Friday. We did add 7,400 in open interest, but that may be not a good sign for upside momentum. The rate's still kind of holding and falling just a little bit. So we got a pretty decent move to the downside started here. Let's take a look at the 30-minute and see where we can find some sort of opportunities for either profit taking or another opportunity to perhaps look for a long. I mean, when you look at this, it's been grinding to the upside. If we don't break this down, this upside structure, we may find opportunities to look for longs on weaknesses here. Those weaknesses could very obviously be this point of control down here. Let's see where that's at. 131. and 26 and a half, 30 seconds. So don't want to fight this move to the downside. We have been one time framing since 5 o'clock, 5:30 this morning. Every 30-minute bar has put in a lower high and a lower low. Don't try and fight this without some sort of structure. And but things changed since when I sat down and started doing the research for the forecast this morning. So we do have some markets on the move. Again, we do not have a lot of economic information due out through the first half of this week. When we get to Thursday, we're going to have a lot to deal with. So it's a long week. Make sure that you are available to trade all week long. It's part of the goal here is to maintain an account so that when the bigger opportunities do come, we can try and take advantage of them. So I hope everybody had a nice weekend. There's a lot of kind of bad news around the world this weekend, and I find myself praying more and more for peace for all of us in the world today, and I look forward to seeing you. Dan should be back for the market recap. I'll be back here tomorrow morning for the market forecast. We do have Coach's Playbook tomorrow, group coaching on Wednesday, another full week of trading. So take your time, be patient. If you miss something, don't chase. Another opportunity is going to come down the pipe. I find if I go looking for trades, I'm going to find them, and they may not be the ones that I'm really looking for. So be patient, stay cool. We got plenty of time before the equity open. I'm going to take my deep breath. I hope you take a deep breath with me. It always makes me feel good. Stay humble, grateful, and creative in your trading today. Keep praying for all of us. Have a great trading day. Get out there, profit. We'll see you tomorrow morning on the forecast. We get the 10-year really driving to the downside right now. And trade well. Looking forward to your success. Have a great trading day.